Welcome to the Becoming Superhuman podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Schmidt. I was trained in Western medicine as a physician assistant, where I was exposed to the dark side of medicine. Through self-education and biohacking, I figured out ways to hack my system, becoming a better version of myself. We'll explore the wisdom and insight of my findings with each episode of the Becoming Superhuman podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Becoming Superhuman podcast. We got the CEO of Dynamic Pollution Systems, Leia Ryan. Leia, how you doing today?
I'm doing just lovely. Thank you so much for asking, Trevor. I've been in the industry for about 34 years, and indoor air pollution, just our own health and wellness. Indoor air quality is so vitally important. Our mission here is to help people live healthier, more vibrant lives. And it's through our air purification and our water purification and some other items that we have that truly can eliminate most of the toxins in your homes, your businesses, your offices. So we're just not for homes, we're commercial as well, Trevor.
Let's identify the problem first. So let's start with the air quality. What is the problems that we're experiencing with air that are damaging our bodies?
Sure. The thing is indoor air quality, IAQ, it's all around us in our buildings, in our structures, our homes. A lot of our stuff is man-made. And Trevor, anything man-made off gases, and there's chemicals and VOCs, and then there's dust, and then there's our dead skin, and then there's colds and flus and viruses and MRSA staph. And so there's so many pollutants that are in our environments, whether we're in our homes or whether we're in a workplace or, depending on where you are, grocery shopping, it doesn't matter. The indoor air quality, most of the time, air outside is cleaner than in our own homes, Trevor.
Now, is that even with the air pollutions of cars and, chemicals that are spewed into the air? So you're saying that the air inside our house or our office is worse than outside?
A lot of the times it is. And the reason why, Trevor, is we seal up our homes to conserve energy. We put our man-made paints and glues on the wall, carpeting. So you've got off-gassing of chemicals. And then, of course, we live in there. And then you've got maybe humidity coming in. So then you've got mold and mildew. And then we're going to cook. We've got cooking odors. And then maybe we add a pet or two. We've got pet dander. Every situation is different, no question, Trevor. Every city is different, no question. But the point is we spend 6 to 8 hours minimum in our homes. And, sometimes people work from home now, they're there 24 hours a day. So it's the off-gassing of the man-made product chemicals, VOCs, and then just our lifestyle, Trevor.
You've used the term VOCs. Can you describe that and help us understand what that means?
Absolutely. So your VOCs are I just call them chemicals. Volatile organic compound is what it is. And so what that means are they're organic compounds that have high vapor and pressure at a room temperature. So high vapors and pressures and this off-gassing of, and then it gets it gets together, it correlates with a low boiling point, which relates to the number of samples, molecules, and all these chemicals that are off-gassing. And that's the VOCs are really responsible for, odors of scents and perfumes and chemicals and mold, whatever you're dealing with.
What is it that these things are doing to us? How are they actually harming us?
They can cause adverse health changes and effects soon after you breathe them in or your body's introduced to them. Some of those effects may also appear that months and months afterwards. So we make several changes in our indoor air spaces that will, really, it's hard to track down and identify exactly the source of the air pollutant. But at the end of the day, when we go in and we test our air, we know the chemicals that are in there. We can test for, molds and a lot of, you can go get a Petri dish and test for mold in your home. So, what it's doing to our systems, and it's breaking down, and then we can, we get colds and flus and maybe it's, RSV, maybe it's a common cold. It doesn't matter. The point is our bodies, it just breaks down our bodies, our immune systems. We are continuously fighting to have clean, breathable air, bringing into our lungs just to stay steady and live healthy, if you will.
Yeah, I've been exploring these biohacking for over a decade now. And my understanding at this point is that toxins lead to inflammation, which leads to the dysfunction within the body. And as we have dysfunction over a period of time, we start to call this a chronic disease. So I know that if we can decrease the toxins that we're exposed to or help to get the toxins out of our system, we can effectively slow down the pace of our aging process. Aging is essentially the breaking down faster than we can build up. So it is my understanding that if we can decrease the toxins that we're being exposed to through the air, then perhaps we can slow down the whole aging process and heal ourselves. Is that kind of the idea here?
That's exactly it, Trevor. And the thing is here, just as we talk about this, some of the immediate effects of indoor air pollution, let's just talk about that. Maybe your eyes, your nose, your throat is irritated. There's something going on in your atmosphere then, whether you're at work or home. Maybe you have headaches. Maybe it's kind of dizziness, maybe fatigue. These effects may appear, shortly after you've been in a home with maybe, someone else's home or your own home, or shortly after maybe some mold got in. They can be short term, and they can be, treated immediately with air purification. We can get rid of all of those pollutants in a very natural way and in an active way versus a passive way. And we'll get into how that works as well.
Before we get into your product specifically, can you kind of describe what the other air purifiers are doing, and kind of like, let's poke some holes in what their shortcomings are, and where we're still exposed?
Sure, absolutely. Here's the thing is, even jumping into that as well, but even before we get there, there's a lot of contaminants, like from, our heating and cooling systems. Just to back up a little bit, Trevor, on this yet. Because, like you've got humidifiers and some diseases such as humidifiers fever, it's called. I mean, there's different toxins, within a moist environment of the humidifier, your heating and cooling system. So biological contaminants like your molds and pollens, they can cause big time allergic reactions. And these toxins are microorganisms, if you will. So bacteria and fungi, and there's just so many of them, and Legionella and influenza. There's a lot of I guess diseases that come from like poor indoor air quality. And it's just not that. It's a lot of your indoor air pollution, if you will. They can be caused by like gases or particulates, released into the air from concentrations of indoor air. Can be increased by not having adequate ventilation. So you need to have, good ventilation as well, but you've got to not let the dirty air into your home, and whatever dirty air comes in, we've got to address that issue as well. And so, we have a lot of issues that sometimes we don't even realize, but people do ask, now, what kind of systems are out there? And there's a lot of systems out there, Trevor. And so there's systems that they're called just a HEPA filter, and that's passive. That most of the systems on the market are passive, and what we mean by that is the bacteria, the mold, the dust, whatever it is, has to get to the system. Whether it's just a HEPA filter, whether it's a type of filter that has a UV light bulb in it, that kind of thing. Here's what we know. If you don't get the pollution to those systems, most every system on the market is like that except ours. But if you don't get let's just say the dust to the filter, the dust is still going to be up in the corner of the house. If you don't get the virus or the bacteria to the UV light, it's not going to matter. And if you do get it to the UV light and it doesn't sit on that UV light long enough, it's not going to kill it anyway. So you'll hear companies say, "Oh, we take care of 99.9% of the pollution, indoor air quality pollution in the home," but they fail to tell you only of the pollution that you can get to their system. Where that's where our company is completely opposite, Trevor. We are active. We go to the mold and the ductwork. We go to the VOCs coming off the curtains or the paint. We go to it. We are ActivePure, not passive.
Okay. And so how does that happen? How do you get to the pollutant?
Yeah, we're certified space technology, ActivePure Technology. It's a patent technology. We work, we're in a lot of hospitals, nursing homes, schools, besides our own homes, okay? But in offices and things like that. So our ActivePure Technology is exactly what we're saying. What we do is we go to the problem. So in other words, it's what we send out. I have a 3-minute short video that I certainly could share my screen and play real quickly if you would like me to. And it just is a really great video that basically explains what we do and how it works. Like I said, not only in homes, but in offices and buildings as well. So do I have the way to share my screen here?
Sharing air with others is cause for concern. We know it, we don't like it. Now with ActivePure Technology, the shared air can be purified in real time, just like it happens in nature. ActivePure is a patented advanced photocatalysis technology. It works by creating and propelling molecules into the air in a room, which quickly neutralize pathogens everywhere. ActivePure molecules work by destabilizing the shell of a virus, bacteria, or other microscopic contaminant to inactivate its living environment, turning it into harmless byproducts. ActivePure Technology is designed to use the law of gases to carry its neutralizing molecules into every nook and cranny, in every space. The law of gases is the reason that the smell of microwave popcorn immediately spreads through your entire home. These odorless and invisible ActivePure molecules fly through the air from our portable ActivePure products, neutralizing pathogens in the air. ActivePure Technology is very different from other technologies that take a passive approach and require that the pathogen be pulled into a filter, UV light, or PCO mechanism. ActivePure Technology doesn't wait to see the pathogens are captured. It neutralizes them in the air you breathe and on the surfaces you touch. ActivePure Technology can deliver measurable results, giving you the peace of mind to know that you are providing an important layer of protection for your indoor spaces. Available in over 70 products, ActivePure Technology is used in homes, schools, offices, and other shared facilities across the world and is proven by science and validated by multiple third parties. For more information about products powered by ActivePure Technology, please speak to your Vollara representative or visit vollara.com.
Just a little bit more. The basis of ActivePure is certified space technology. It's really our environments to the technology have increased efficiency without using gases like ozone and things like that. But for our advancements, we've really taken the ActivePure technology. It's certified space technology, and we have over 75 technologies with this in. So, like I said, we're in the Space Technology Hall of Fame. Our company is for the past 30 years. We're proactive. Pathogen defense has been instantly adopted by a lot of hospitals, operating rooms, urgent care, schools, offices. Obviously over and above our homes. So, we're trusted by hundreds of industry leaders, including Cleveland Clinic. They did a 4-year placebo on us. The California Department of State Hospitals, AFC Urgent Care, Mississippi State University College of Veterinary Medicine, Primo's Schools, Dunkin' Donuts, Massage Envy. So we have a lot of, and hundreds of professional sports teams, your Major League Baseball, your Olympics. Jamie Anderson, the downhill skier, she works a lot with our products because of health and wellness. And then your NFL. So we're really in a lot of different industries, if you will, and anywhere that you breathe air, they need our systems.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, right. We all, the one thing that we all have in common is that we breathe. So,
Yes.
It's something that I think that is overlooked by a lot of us. And, I think it's easy to miss in consideration when you're thinking about it at your home. We have filters that go in the, in the walls. Maybe we have HEPA filters as well. What it sounds like is that we're still missing the fact that if that air isn't getting sucked directly into the unit, then how could it be cleansed? Right. So now we still have this, this unsafe air that we're essentially exposed to.
Mhm.
I understand how the molecules are ionized and they go out and interact with these. Can you explain in like plain English, what does that mean exactly?
Pretty much, our systems, they're a little box, Trevor. They're very nice. They're quiet. And so our technology, I can kind of explain it like if you ever saw Pac-Man gobbling up all those little, bubbles there, we do that. We're little Pac-Mans, and we're going out and we're flying through the air. We're bouncing the air, the ionization. We're making it healthy because our air right now, most homes and facilities have too many positive charges going on. So there's dust flying in around in the air. So I'll explain it like this. On a sunny day, and the shaft of light comes through and you see those particles floating around. It
Mhm.
could be dead skin. It could be dust. It could be dander, pet dander. It could be a number of different things. But the reason why they stay suspended in there is they have a positive charge. Most of the stuff in our homes are man-made. You have electricity, you have computers, you have all this stuff. So a lot of positive charges. So what our systems do is we send out that little Pac-Man, and not only do we drop the particle down, we cruise through and we get into the ductwork. We take care of mold and bacteria, and we go in and viruses and whatever's in the air is pollution and contaminants. We can go through and we can sanitize and oxidize. And it's the technology that we've had for many, many years, Trevor, that there again, we go to the problem versus trying to bring it back to us. And by the way, most of the time, once you put our system in the home, you notice a difference the first hour to 24 hours.
Mhm.
And the air is lighter. It's cleaner, much cleaner. And, if you think about it, we spend 6 to 8 hours reviving our body in literally the dirtiest room of the home. And the room is the bedroom. And the reason why is because you replenish your skin about every 28 days. A lot of dust mites. Dust mites eat your dead skin. So I always mention, and people laugh at me, but I always say, look, if you're putting your head on the pillow tonight and all of a sudden you hear kind of a scratching noise, don't worry about it. It's just the dust mites eating your dead skin, right? So, but I tell people the bedroom, that's the first place. And we have a little recipe guide, I call it, that we say, hey, take the purifier into the bedroom because this purifier will do. We have one that does up to from 500 to 2,000 square foot, another one that does up to 3,500. But we say take it into the bedroom, bring the bedding back down, the sheets and pillowcases, and run it for about an hour. You will sleep like a baby the first night. I mean, and then bring it and centrally locate it in your home. And that's the difference between us and most everything else on the market is you definitely see a difference. And you can even, Trevor, I've had large companies where, obviously when working with nursing homes and hospitals, they have really, really good air detection, pollution detection devices.
Mhm.
And when we bring our products in, and all of a sudden the particle starts going down, all of a sudden they can't detect chemical gases, all of a sudden there's no viruses and mold and bacteria. It's just that quick. And keep in mind, we take care of pollution not only airborne, but on surfaces.
Hmm.
I don't think there's anybody out there that can actually make that claim that you will actually, if there's a virus RSV sitting on your desk and you all of a sudden come in and you bring our purifiers into your office, Trevor, that's gone within about 1 minute. And we've got testing. We've got full testings on this, university testings and different labs that we work with. So this air quality, back to the importance of air quality. We run most of our products is a cellular level, and our cells, need good hydration. Don't get me bad, but we need good air quality coming into our lungs, Trevor.
You're sending out these ionized particles to get the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
So does it go out and kill them on contact, or is it something like it charges them and then gets drawn back in?
No, within 60 seconds they're dead. I mean, it's dust on your, you know what I'm saying? It's gone. It's oxidized, sanitized within 1 minute. Not only airborne, but also on surfaces. Same thing with mold. Same thing with whatever bacteria, virus, what might be sitting on surfaces. We take care of that along with just within the airspace.
Right. And so, like, let's say I had a mold issue in my walls. Is this something like you're saying that we don't have to worry about that anymore?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. That gets really into, if you have mold behind your walls, you need a mold remediator,
Right.
right? But you've also got, if you have mold behind your walls and any movement, that mold flakes off. It's getting in your
Right.
breathing area. So you want
Right.
that professionally handled if that's the issue. And then obviously if you would have our systems in there, it wouldn't be any mold growth. We can contain that. But if
Right.
you already have a situation, that's very serious. Get it taken care of.
Attached to the particles, and then if there are airborne particles that are kind of floating
Sure.
around, what happened to those airborne
Right.
particles, as opposed to some of the other filtration systems, like the air actually comes through the unit and it blocks it at the filter. So what happens with your?
Right. Depending on the amount of pollution in the home, because every home is different. Some homes they may burn wood. Maybe there's a smoker. Maybe there's 2 dogs. Maybe there's 3 cats. Whatever the situation is, I always say the more pollution, the more purification. But what it does is, remember how we talked about that particle on a sunny day and it's kind of that house dust. It's just kind of floating around. We call it house dust. So you bring our systems in and you plug it in. All of a sudden, you see that dropping down, and you actually think it's making dust, Trevor. It's kind of like after a big old thunderstorm, rainstorm, it drops all the dust out of the air, and you walk outside, you're like, oh man, this is really nice, clean air.
Mhm.
Most of the particles on the ground. So the thing is I'll say, look, you're going to have particle, and you want to, once it drops down, and every home is different. It could be 24 hours, it could be a week, depending on the amount of pollution that's in the home and being created in the home. But as it comes down, you're going to dust it, but your dusting is going to cut down tremendously. Okay. And if you have a window open, whatever pollution or dust that's coming in, it's going to kind of drop in that windowsill, because we come almost set up a barrier within your home of clean, purified air and ions, so that when the particle comes in, it's going to drop at the windowsill. If you come in from grocery shopping and the person in front of you, has RSV, and you happen to get that bacteria, or that virus on your shirt, you come home with that, you come home into your ActivePure home environment, 1 minute it's dead, it's gone. Okay, so airborne and on surfaces. The other thing I always mention to folks too is, after about the first 30 days in your home, be sure to check your filters in your furnace or your air conditioner, that kind of thing. There's not too many filters in the air conditioner, I don't think, but your systems, your air system, because you'll want to change it. And the reason is once you put our systems in, though, that first initial 30 days, we're dropping all that particle down. A lot of it gets picked up through the cold air return, and of course it gets into the filter. So you want to make sure and change that filter, so that it isn't getting plugged. Number one. Number two is the reason why you have a filter on your HVAC system or your heating and air conditioning system is to keep the mechanics of the machine clean. That's really what a filter does. And so that's why when our systems come in, like I said, we're dropping that particle in every single room of the home. A lot of it's getting picked up through the cold air return, and it's going to go to that filter. So always check your filter within about 30 days after you put our systems in.
Now, would you anticipate, less things to filter after that?
Absolutely. Depending on what's going on, Trevor. There again, if you've got a couple of German Shepherds, 4 or 5 cats in the home, you're going to have a lot of, and someone's smoking, or
Right.
every home is different. The more particle, the more pollution, the more purification. So in other words, it's going to keep it out of the breathing space, which is very important. But you're still going to be cleaning up, a lot of the dust, just because you're creating so much. But
Right.
most homes, the dusting cuts down tremendously, even if you do have cats or dogs. And, if you have 2 or 3, that's not a big deal.
The dust that will appear on surfaces, you're saying, decreases?
Yep, absolutely. And unless it's being created a lot, initially when you go in with our systems, it cleans up your home big time. And like I said, if you're creating a lot of pollution, that's your home. You're going to be cleaning a lot, That's just a thing. And one thing with this, when you have pets, especially where pets are involved, dogs, cats, it doesn't matter. Wherever you want to centrally locate this in the home, okay? So wherever you centrally locate the air purifier, the pets will want to sleep in that room or right underneath that air purifier, because they can breathe easier as well. Because we know about 70 to 80% of your air pollution is about 4 foot off the ground. Where do you revive your body every day? And where do your pets run around? Where do your kids or grandkids run around? It's at that space, and that's where we want to get that space cleaned up as well.
Important is it to have like the good airflow, meaning do you have to leave all the doors open and allow for how
Not
does
at
it work?
all. Yeah, not at all. That's a good question. ActivePure, and a lot of people, it takes a lot for them to wrap their thought around this, because it's totally opposite of what we've ever been taught, so to speak.
Mhm.
And so, no, I mean, the ActivePure technology gets picked up through the airflow. Actually, we're the company that cleans the air up in the space shuttle. Okay, that technology, the ActivePure technology, you can't open the window up there. You can't, and it's got to be, you got to keep it virus and bacteria free, and odor free, and so on and so forth. So our systems, just it's kind of like Pac-Man. They go through the home continuously, and as far as airflow, you can certainly leave the fan on your system on. A lot of HVAC people say that actually, whether you're heating or cooling, when that fan is running, you use less energy because it keeps the entire home at a level it should be at. And so if you want to keep your fan running, yeah, that's fine too. If you don't, it's okay. It's ActivePure technology. It still goes out and addresses the air pollution.
I've heard of other air purifiers that they have an ionizing nature to them. Is this the same technology, more or less?
Well, a lot of your ionizers on the market are truly, some are like a needle ionizer. They have a lot of electricity energy going through there, and the air has to pass over there again, pass over the ions in order to get out. Okay. But a lot of them have a really high ion. And so what happens is, let's say your needle's here and the air comes over, and it charges it, and it picks up the pollution it's going, and then it hits a wall. Sometimes that because of the charge will actually electroplate the air pollution to the wall. So like you have a picture there, and you put an ionizer in, and all of a sudden 6 months later you kind of turn your picture a little bit, and you got a ring around now you can see where the pollution. You don't want that. So
Right.
there are ionizers on the market, yes, absolutely. But a lot of them are high ions, and you don't want high ions. You want to balance the charges within the air at a neutral level, if you will. And that's where we're active, we're neutral, we go out, and that you don't want a bunch of ions. I remember back in the day, and we called on a lot of photo labs back in the 90s. Okay. And the thing is, with photo labs, when they were producing your pictures, if there was a little bit of dust on the film, they'd have to do it again. So it cost them a lot of money. They want dust free. And that's where the old type needle type ionizers in that little room did them a lot of good. And they didn't care if their walls got dark, so to speak. We care. We just want the dust dropped out of the air, out of the breathing area, and we just want the viruses and bacteria and odors taken care of, sanitized, gone.
You mentioned that you have these different products. You have different size things for different size houses and stuff. So you mentioned the 3,500, the 2,000. Do you have a couple other sizes?
Absolutely. We have called the Fresh Air Mobile. We have a rechargeable one, like a rechargeable cell phone. And I use that everywhere I go. If I'm on a plane, I put it right in my seat because I'm protected. Planes are disgusting. They're a capsule full of,
Right.
chemicals and colds and flus and things like that. But and the hotel rooms aren't any better, so to speak. And so I carry that with me all the time. It's in my car. If I get an Uber, rent a car, it doesn't matter. That thing's running. It's protecting me. So the Fresh Air Mobile is a great product to have all the time. We have a AP500 we use a lot in like your massage therapist, their little rooms, your dentist rooms, things like that. And then we have we do also have induct where you can put it into your heating and air conditioning, the ActivePure actual technology into there too. So we're pretty diversified in that arena. We also have them for buses. We can install them in buses and your ambulances and really any type of vehicle, trains. We have many products that we can tailor to the environment that you're looking to clean up.
So I see you. So you have your Fresh Air Mobile. That's but then you also had your Fresh Air Personal. What are the difference between those two
Yeah,
now?
the Fresh Air Personal is something that you just put around your neck. It's a little, it's about 3 inches by 2 inches, and we certainly can show them as well. But what I like about that one, I'm out and about, I'm grocery shopping, or I'm concerned about the air quality. I'm going to wear that with me, and it protects me about a foot around my head and my face. And even if it's, I'm walking, it's still ionizing. It's still protecting me. And a lot of people will say, if I'm out grocery shopping, they'll say, "No, what is that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's an air purifier." And they're just impressed with it because like, wow, how does that work? Just like you're asking, how does that work?
Right.
And so, but it truly does keep the pollution that protects you immediate within about a foot away from your breathing space.
This is something that I've had struggles with over the years. When I get in like an Uber or a Lyft,
Mm.
and they love to use their fragrances to make their cars smell like whatever it smells like.
Right.
Covering up the cigarette smells or whatever the case, and then they just put on all these chemicals, which for me, it drives me nuts. Like my eyes start tearing right away. It's hard for me to breathe. And I'm like, I literally, I just open the window and kind of put my nose out the window the whole time,
Yeah.
which makes me feel a certain way, but I'm whatever. So is this something that we could, bring into the Uber, then clear
Yeah.
things up?
You know what? Here's the thing. When I'm out and about as well, Trevor, okay? Um, Uber drivers love these. Okay. The Fresh Air Mobile, they want to be protected as well. I actually just called on I'm in the Minnesota area, and I was at an event, and they had some cars there. And so I was talking to them, some limos, and then they have buses and limo buses and all this stuff. And I was talking to them about the Fresh Air Mobile. And so CJ is the gentleman that I was talking to, and he said, "Hey, you know what, Leah, send me one of those mobiles. I want to put it to the test because we do care about our drivers. We care about their air quality, and we don't know when they're picking up clients what the clients have on their clothing or what the clients are, if they have colds or flus or RSV or whatever." So I sent one up, and this is about 2 weeks ago. And he said he had it in his limo and he was out and about. And then he said that night he went through McDonald's. He said he left the open bag of McDonald's in the car overnight, a limo. And he said the next morning, he said, I couldn't believe it. There was absolutely no odor in there. You know what it's like to leave something in your car. I mean,
Right.
and by the way, speaking of cars, our bigger units, they use them car detail centers. We use them to clean up RVs. We have like the Fresh Air Mobile. We put a lot into yachts and boats because you get that diesel smell up in the hull of the
Right.
yachts and boats. We take care of them. Norwegian Cruise Lines, one of my personal accounts, the Norovirus. Most of the time you hear cruise ships being at bay because quarantine because of the Norovirus. Norwegian, you probably won't. I can't say you won't, but you haven't heard of them being quarantined. They
Right.
have our technology on their ships, by the way. And
Interesting.
so, and we have a lot of them, like I said, schools and prisons and that kind of thing. But the Fresh Air Mobile, amazing product. All of our products are amazing, but that mobile is portable, rechargeable. Put it next to your bed, that kind of thing. It is only made to run about 7 hours a day. It's not like our ones that you run 24/7. So it's nice and unique and small, but it's not made to run 24 hours a day. It's only really made to work about 7 to 8 hours a day.
Right. So let's say, like driving to work, maybe putting it at your desk at work.
Yes.
And obviously, like I said, if you're getting into other people's vehicles, having something like that. Now, the Fresh Air Mobile, that'll cover a slightly larger space.
The Fresh Air Mobile, well, no, it'll only cover, let me pull up the specs on that. It'll cover about 50 square foot. So it's a
Okay.
very small, it's only like about the size, a little bit thicker than your cell phone.
Right.
Yeah, like
So it'll cover like the size of a large car, effectively.
yeah, absolutely, yes. Or your cubicle, Trevor. If you're in an
Right.
office cubicle or the bedroom, you go to, let's say it's holidays and you go to your families, or you're going to go, the 4th of July celebration or Christmas, whatever, take your mobile, put it, you stay with family, put it in the bedroom. It just, every home is different and has different toxins in it. It just helps you breathe cleaner air, and, it's just a refreshing environment for you.
Right. So then we would say like the personal thing is something that you wear around your neck, and that's the everywhere movement, when you're walking around and you're in public, and that's effectively going to be covering,
Right.
surrounding like a bubble around you.
Correct. Yep. Now, here's the thing, Trevor, that I've had people say, look, what if you walk out and it's a really windy day? Well, it's a really windy day. It's not gonna, if
Right.
you're in your office and you're walking down the grocery store and things like that, we have a lot of, I'm from Minnesota area where Mayo Clinic is just down the street. We have a lot of physicians, surgeons, doctors that wear that all the time because they need to protect themselves as well, Trevor.
Right. So, okay. So I'm covered at work. I'm covering at the house. I'm covering on the mobile. Does it? I know you mentioned it, but is the expectation such that it's going to take away all the odors and things?
Absolutely.
And so if I'm walking around, I have this little thing around my neck. Am I going to and say you have, like some people wear all kinds of
Perfumes.
fumes and stuff, so that those things make my eyes water.
Yep.
So when I get around somebody like that, is that going to protect me?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. And that's the thing is, it's about, probably about 6 inches below your breathing space, right on your chest. It truly does protect, no question. And if someone has heavy perfume, and you're right, a lot of people are allergic to those chemicals within those perfumes, and they react in a very bad way. They can't help it. And this will protect them from that. And if there are perfumes around, or if it's something really bad, I'll actually take it and just put it up next to my nose, because then I know that's what I'm breathing. I'm not breathing the chemical over here.
Right. So like how well does this work? Could it be like you have it on, and then I'm standing right next to you and I'm getting affected by these things, but you're okay? Is it that strong? Is that powerful?
Yeah, you would, in the personal, you would have to be pretty close, because like I said, it's only about 8 to 10 inches around. So you'd
Right.
have to you want to protect, we both could be protected by one if that's the case,
Yeah.
but that would be about it. Now, the mobile's a little different, that's a little more powerful and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, we still could stand together and be protected.
Huh. Okay. And are there ways for the individual to test these,
Yeah,
to
Trevor.
test in comparison to perhaps like the one that they normally have?
Absolutely. And we encourage that. We encourage that. Put them side by side. And the beautiful thing about our company and our products is we give a 30-day unconditional money back guarantee. If there's any reason, Trevor, that you don't see a difference, or you don't like the performance, whatever it is, doesn't matter. It's a 30-day money back guarantee. But here's what we guarantee. You will notice a difference the first hour to 24 hours in your home, number one. Number two is we say, look, you know what? If you love it, and this is what we've done for years. We've become a very huge company. Tell your friends all about it. If you don't like it, send it back. No problem at all. It's 100% satisfaction guaranteed on all of our products, Trevor, whether it's the air, the water, the laundry pure, our sports supplement line, doesn't matter.
Right. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked about the air quality stuff. Now, one of the things that I know is really important, and it has been over the years for me, is the water quality.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of us have become more aware of the issues with the water, particularly with the tap water. But now it's even becoming more obvious, in awareness that it's the water in just bottled water, or even the reverse osmosis filters. So can we switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about the water and how we're being exposed to these toxins?
Trevor, there's a website that everyone can go to, website run by independent water analysis type of thing, and it's called ewg.org. If you go to ewg.org, and you look up your tap water database. It's called Tap Water Database tab. You click that on, and you can put your zip code in. And when you put your zip code in, there might be one, there might be 10 water companies that are in that area. When you find your water company, which is on your water bill, you click that one on, and it'll go through all the contaminants and even the contaminants that are over the limits. And then when you go into that, you can click on the chemical that's in there, and it'll tell you what manufacturing, where it's coming from. So you can, when I'm talking with someone about water quality, I'll say, Trevor, what's your home zip code?
Mhm.
And I'll go right to that site and I'll share my screen. I'll say, hey, Trevor, this is what you're dealing with. Don't drink your tap water, please. We have ionized water systems that has alkaline and filtration. And so we also have what we call a hydrogen bottle on the go. We work a lot with your athletics and athletes but even, people that we're so dehydrated, our bodies, all of our food is acidic. There's so many chemicals in everything really that's out there. And we all, most of us try to be organic, most of us try, but we're still overwhelmed, whether it be from the plastic pollution in your plastic water bottles to the chemicals in the stuff that we're drinking. But what we have is it's called living water. And it's basically pH balancing, healthy alkaline water filter is what it is. It connects to your sink, and it can be used for like your drinking water, cooking, cleaning purposes. So what it does is it pretty much provides acid buffering alkaline water for drinking and cooking. People say, well, what's alkaline? Why is that? We, as I mentioned earlier, we're a cellular level company. And so our products, it basically, our living water generates really good negative ORP, which is oxidation reduction potential for the antioxidant properties. So what we're doing is we're hydrating the cells and flushing the toxins out of our body. Now, people say, well, what's the difference between like RO and city water and things like that, and our water purifier or the other water filters on the market? Here's what we know. When we're drinking water, like let's say you're working out and you come in and you grab a bottle of water, a glass of your water, and you just down it, okay? You can kind of feel it sloshing in your tummy for a little bit. Would you agree with me, Trevor?
Right.
You down a glass of our living water, you don't have that sloshing, because here's what happens. Bottled water, city water, all that's and I call it acid water, because if you actually test the acidity of the water, it's acid water. So when you drink it, like your cells here, it's going to go over the cell. It's going to get some hydration, but it's going to go over. When you drink our living water, it fuses the cell. Big difference, huge difference. That's why we have Major League, we're endorsed by ESPN, Major League Baseball, Olympics, Jamie Anderson. I mean, we're endorsed by some really star athletes that understand hydration. Okay. And so what we do is, there again, our living water is an ionizer. Well, there's other ionizers on the market. Our living water actually we call it a smart water machine. And the reason we do is because it can actually detect the TDS, the total dissolved solids of the incoming water, so the proper pH balancing ionized water goes out. No other ionizer has that on the market that I'm aware of, Trevor. And so that's a big deal. That's a big difference, because you want the right water, going out, so you have the right, the right balancing there. So one of the other things is, they're super easy to install. You've got a multicolor LCD control that you can get high pH alkaline water, or you can get acidic water. And a lot of times, like, I like to take a bottle, or I'll put the acid water on and put it in a spray bottle, because I put it in all my showers. When I'm done showering, I just squirt that down. There's no bacteria, mold growing, nothing like that, Trevor. So it keeps it, because that's acid water, kills, okay? Same thing as I'm cleaning my countertops. I don't have chemicals in my home. I don't want chemicals in my home for cleaning and things like that. So when I just spray that bottled water, it kills on contact. It's clean. It's very, very good. So there's a lot of uses, for the proper pH water. And then the high alkalinity water, you water your plants with. And then you can go all the way from a 5 acid, I'm sorry, a 3 or 4 acidic, all the way up to a 14 pH balance. But the beauty part about that is basically when you put the like 8.5 or 9 pH water down, and if you have pets, you put a bowl of the regular water, you put a bowl of our water, and they will not touch their regular water. But that's your pets. But what happens when you start drinking our alkaline water, because it hydrates at the cell, you almost feel more thirsty. And it's lighter. It's wonderful water. But you almost like, oh man, I'm really thirsty. And you keep drinking. And what it's doing is flushing the toxins out of your organs, your body. And your skin becomes softer, your mental clarity, you feel better. It's an amazing water ionizer that we have, no question.
The word ionizer, is that similar to this concept when we talked about the air where it ionizes and it goes out and attaches to the chemicals and get them out of the water? How does this work to filter out the toxins?
It generates water with a negative ORP, which is an oxidation reduction potential. So it increases antioxidant properties. So it'll oxidize the chemicals out.
You were talking, I went to this ewg.org site, and I put in my own zip code, and I'm blown away. This says there's 16 different contaminants that exceed the health guidelines. Actually 32. Arsenic is 361 times the recommended. Bromodichloromethane is 298 times the recommendations. I don't even know what some of this stuff is. That haloacetic acid is almost 600 times the guidelines. So I mean, this stuff, it doesn't look good, obviously. And this is our tap water that we have here in Southern Nevada.
In my local area, I sat on city council for 17 years. We go through the water plant and the different the different information and education and things like that, testings. And here's what I know. This is a law. This is a federal law that cities have to produce water with a 7.3 pH in it. It has to have that in there. And how they do that is they add a chemical called lye to get the pH up. And so it's just more chemicals in your water, especially city water.
That makes sense. And that doesn't surprise me at all that the government would do stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, so now we have ionized water, and that's helping to get the chemicals out of the system. But it also, you're saying that the ionization in the process with this filter, it raises or lowers the pH. And in the ability to produce water with higher or lower pH, we can use that water for different purposes. So like if we wanted to do more cleaning type activity, would this be more like abrasive type things? Like say like, for example, what would I use it instead of? So if right now I'm using some chemicals and things, what are those chemicals that I would use this acid water instead of?
Everyone uses different chemicals, bathroom cleaning chemicals. And so this acid water, yes, you can just have a bottle of acid water, and acid water is exactly what it does. It kills. And so you can be, spraying that on your countertops, in your sink, cleaning it, spraying and cleaning in your sink. Obviously you wouldn't do that to wood, but, any kind of your countertops and glass and, ceramic and things like that, it will definitely, clean and kill anything that might be growing on there. That's the nice thing about when you're have that optional acid water. And then your pH, that's life. Okay, acid's dead. pH, high pH is life. So that's what you water your plants with. You start out, and there's different levels of pH. You don't want a high pH all the time in your body. So honestly, what I take is I take the 8.5 pH, and I was taking 9, and then I came down to 8.5 kind of thing, and that's what I drink. The pH levels range from 7 to 10 for alkaline water, and from 1 to 6 for cleaning and personal care. For instance, 5.5, that's the same pH that's on your skin. So we've had many gentlemen that would use a shaving cream or a shaver to shave, and they would get, a cut, or they didn't want to use chemicals on their face. So that 5.5 is actually the pH of your skin. So they would spray the 5.5 on and shave, if they did it that way, and they didn't have, little bumps or anything like that. So, I mean, there's a number of different uses, and it actually comes with a little guide that, says, hey, this is a pH that you use for this. If you're going to, boil eggs, you use it for this. If you're going to, remove toxins, this is the pH level you want to use. So there's different things. And here's the thing is it generates, excellent negative ORP, that oxidation reduction potential that really increases antioxidant properties for you. So it's very, very healthy.
And my understanding with the toxins and stuff that we're intaking into our body is that, they end up leading to all the inflammatory processes. So the anticipation would be is that if we can reduce the toxins coming in, and now keep in mind that we're getting toxins from everywhere, right? So I think the expectation of using one of these products that is going to solve all of our problems is kind of is unrealistic. But the layering of reducing the toxins from the air, reducing the toxins from the water, reducing the toxins from the chemicals that we're putting on our body, reducing the toxins that we're intaking, is all of the combination of these things that's going to make the long-term impact. Is that correct?
Absolutely. There's just for instance, the water flushing the toxins out and hydrating the cell versus just going over the cell. I mean, that's healthy stuff, okay? And then like getting the chemicals out of the air so your body, there's been people say, well, Leah, I have, not to go back to the air, high allergies. So if I go outside, let's say I'm protecting my home and I walk outside, it's like, oh my gosh, is it going to be worse again? Actually, what it does is when you have clean air, clean water, clean environment, it actually helps you build up your immune system so you are stronger when you do go outside, or when you do, run into some, chemical situation. Your cells are stronger, Trevor.
Is there any potential damage that like say for the acid water, would it put? I know you mentioned that it like you didn't want to necessarily put it on the wood. So is there a caution that like you don't want to use a certain acid level on different things, or else it could, in theory, damage the?
Yeah, it comes with a recipe guide kind of thing. It guides you what to use it for, that kind of thing. It's just, and it's common sense too, Trevor. Typically, you can wipe down, wood or that kind of thing, but you wouldn't leave, like in my shower, for instance, I will spray it and I just let it sit there for a little bit and then I rinse it down. So it's like with wood, well, yeah, it's common sense. You're not going to put water on wood because you're going to have an issue, So, but there's a little recipe guide that says, hey, use this pH for this for this, and there's a neutral pH that's 7.0 that's neutral. So, that's if you do take any kind of medications, you would pull that 7 out and you would drink, or you would take your medication with the 7, because if you take it with a higher pH and it's a time release, it's going to release it quicker. And all that comes with, specific directions within the water purifier. And so, and then, maybe a half hour later, you can go back to your 8.5 or 9% pH balance drinking water. So, like I said, there's guidelines and we have them for you.
There's also like hydrogen water.
Yes.
And my understanding of the use of hydrogen is actually is changing the pH in a way. Is that?
It's hydrogen water is it's hydrating, just like it says. So I'm just going to pull this up here. The hydrogen water bottle we have is kind of like the water bottle on the go. That's what we call it. And the reason we do is because there again, most of your water doesn't have, like some hydrogen and oxygen in it, so to speak. It's just dead water. And so basically our hydrogen water, our H2 fuel bottle, if you will, what it does is it, first of all, it's improves just the taste and energy and balance. It just improves everything there. It's infused with molecular hydrogen, which is H2. Okay, it's less oxidative. It's cleaner hydrogen generation, if you will, with ionic membranes. I'm getting a little technical here, but its antioxidant qualities are incredible. So pretty much what we're doing is we're changing the charges of regular water with molecular hydrogen gas to create a hydrogen infused antioxidant rich water within 3 minutes. So it flushes cells like the cellular waste and toxins from your cells. It flushes that it totally away. And so it's a great product that, really the H2 fuel uses, it infuses molecular hydrogen into the drinking water. And that's, if you do your research on that, basically molecular structure, it's very healthy. It may increase alkalinity, it improves water, the taste. It's just a really good, healthy, flushing water, if you will, as well.
So is the hydrogen water something different than what your system is doing?
This is kind of on the go. So in other words, this bottle is, yes, it's basically, like I said, adding the hydrogen to the water that actually hydrates the cells and flushes. Your ion water that in our living water, that's that's basically cleaning, pH balance, and there is a little hydrogen in there that through the ionization and hydrogen, but this actually is a lot more hydrogen within the water. It's really infused into the water much more.
Okay. So this what you're talking about is like you have a specific water bottle that we would infuse the hydrogen into the water?
Correct. Yep. Okay. Yep. It's called the H2 fuel bottle, and it comes with glass. You'll find some other ones on the market that are plastic. We shouldn't be drinking out of plastic, no matter what kind of plastic it is. It's not healthy at all for you.
Is it still okay to drink the pH water, the alkaline water? Is that ideal, or is it better to have the hydrogen water? And what's the difference? And like if we're looking to have drinking water on a daily basis, what is ideal?
Yeah, ideal is the living water, and that's the pH balancing, healthy alkaline water. And then you can take a lot of people with their living water. They have a water bottle that they'll put the living water in the H2 fuel bottle, the hydrogen bottle, and that's the ultimate clean, healthiest water you can drink.
You're drinking the hydrogen water and the pH water, and what are the benefits of what are we expecting to experience?
You feel more hydrated, number one. It really provides acid buffering alkaline water, for our drinking water on our living water, okay? And it generates excellent negative ORP, that oxidation reduction potential. And so, that's flushing toxins. And then the hydrogen water, just like it adds intracellular hydration. It increases your intracellular hydration, your cells, which it hydrates the cell very effectively, and it can increase the H2 fuel bottle may increase alkalinity like the living water does, but that's where it's like we take the living water and that's great, that's phenomenal. But if you're on the go, grab your water bottle, add the living water to that, because here's the thing is that dissipates. Okay, the ORP dissipates after a while. So if you take a gallon of water to work, after so many, the pH will withstand, but the actually ORP will kind of dissipate, and that's where it's like, hey, take that and pour it into your H2 fuel bottle, and it just brings it back up to the hydrogen level that you want to flush toxins.
Now, what's the difference between different filtration systems, like activated charcoal, reverse osmosis, or even there are other filters, for water that are ion exchangers, and how do those work in comparison to your units?
First of all, our living water, we call it a smart water machine, because it actually can detect the total dissolved solids of the incoming water, so the proper ionized and pH balance is going out. No one else has that. I know that. They'll bring the water in. They'll be able to balance. They'll be able to produce some pH water and ORP water. But you really, if you don't have the right smart total dissolved water, so that it calculates it, so you're truly getting the hydrogen water or the ionized water. Other systems on the market, pretty much filters and things like that. Other ionizers, there's other ionizers out there. I know with ours, we actually, a lot of the ionizers out on the market, you actually have to send the product back to the company every single year. It costs $300 to $500 to get it clean, that kind of thing. You have the option to get the complete maintenance, and you can do it right in the comfort of your own home. It takes about maybe half hour, 45 minutes every 10,000 liters. And so we make it very easy and simple for you to, maintain your living water. Filtrations, they don't add hydrogen, they don't add ORP, they don't add anything like that. It's just a filtered water. And they may filter out some chemicals, but we can really just eliminate those chemicals in the incoming water through the technology that we have.
Okay, so we have a tap, our tap water. This would be the unit would attach to say in the sink in the kitchen,
Faucet,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we get our drinking water from this. We would produce our cleaning water, the acid type water, fill our water bottles for drinking. We do our cleaning, all the stuff with this. Now, what about the water that comes out of our other sinks, like in our bedroom, or that we wash our face with, or that we're taking showers with? How do we protect ourselves there?
We do have a company that has a whole home water filtration system. And that's, you do have access to that, and we could talk about that at another time. Along with, we have water filters as well that you can put onto the shower.
Okay.
Because you're right, Trevor, the water coming out of those other faucets are not good, especially when you're looking up on the chemicals in your water. So your body's a sponge. It brings those chemicals right in. And so we always encourage, a good water shower filter to use. We actually, we do encourage whole home water protection as well, which that's a whole nother level of water purification.
Right. So with those ones, are we talking more so like the traditional filtration system that's just meant to get the toxins out, and
Correct.
it leaves the water just, like kind of like a reverse osmosis where it basically filters out all the bad stuff?
Yeah. And the thing is one thing with reverse osmosis, by the way, reverse osmosis is good. It strips the water, but that also is a problem. It strips the water.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very acidic. Okay. So when you test the water on a RO, it's so acidic. And we already are dealing with so much acidic food and so much around us. It's like we need hydrogen water. We need good pH balance to hydrate the cell, because acidic is kill. Okay, so it's like pulling acid water, putting it in that bottle, and that's your RO water. There's no life to it. It's dead water, Trevor.
Interesting. Very interesting. It's so difficult nowadays to live healthy, right?
It sure is. It sure is. We're bombarded with a lot of chemicals around us, whether it's in our air or whether it's in our water or our clothing or everywhere.
Heard of other filters, like I believe it's the Kanga water.
Yeah.
Can you kind of address some of that in addition to other perhaps competitors, and how your stuff differs?
Absolutely. With the Magic or Kangen, they're very, very, very high priced. I know that. We're actually the next generation. They have what we call, their technology is like the original plate technology. And that's why probably one of the reasons where you do have to send the actual equipment in, because to get cleaned and maintained, and if you don't, the warranty's void on it, and you have to do that every 12 months. So, and then, like I said, it costs, a lot of money to do that. We are a direct disc ionization. That's a little different. We don't have the old plate technology where it takes I gotta go through all these plates. We're a direct disc ionization. It's very simple, very sleek, very clean. And so what we do is, and same thing as, we're a smart water. We can detect the total dissolved solids coming in so that the proper pH balance is going out. So pretty much the biggest difference is the cost, Trevor. Number one. Number two, they have older technology, and they don't have a, I guess, smart machine to really detect the incoming total dissolved solids in the water, so that you do truly have outgoing water of the proper ions and pH.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Another concern I think with toxins is the toxins that we utilize for our soap, chemicals and such, and most of which we're getting in perhaps in the laundering, and then we do our laundry and our clothes, and they smell all great and everything, but then we're basically soaking up these toxins into our system. And you guys have this amazing product called was it the Laundry Pure? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Love that Laundry Pure, Trevor. Oh my goodness. So first of all, I haven't bought laundry detergent or any kind of thing for soaps or softeners or anything for laundry for like 25 or 26 years. We have a product called Laundry Pure. Originally, it was created for to put into prisons so that they didn't have to use chemicals. They didn't want chemicals in there being whatever they did with them. So but our Laundry Pure is amazing product. No hot water, no detergents, no softener sheets. So pretty much, we've been told for years that detergents clean. Detergents don't clean. Detergents change the structure of the water. The structured water lifts the dirt and grime away. We change the structure of water with our Laundry Pure. It's like little scrubbers, hydrogen peroxides in there. And so it's super simple to use. So it's like, I say it's as easy as hanging a pitcher and screwing in a water hose to hook it up. So you shut off the cold water. It comes with an extra hose. So you do hang this on the wall, and it could be vertical or horizontal. It doesn't matter, whatever you have room for. And then it comes with an extra hose where you would take the water from the wash machine hose, unhook it, put it into the inlet of the Laundry Pure, and then the Laundry Pure extra hose goes from the Laundry Pure into your wash machine. So you turn on the wash machine, and there's a 110. You plug it in, and you set it for cold, turn on, and all of a sudden your water's coming in, and it smells like after a rainstorm, Trevor. It's super clean water, like little hydrogen scrubbers coming in. So basically what happens is that's how we change the structure of the water, so it lifts the dirt and grime away naturally. No chemicals, and in chemicals there's a lot of metals. That's why when you're doing your laundry with detergents, you put the laundry in the dryer, and then you have to add more chemicals in a laundry sheet because you got to try and get rid of the static and things like that. See, and then the other thing with detergents, they can leave a grime around your laundry, your washer, and it's mold, and that's just detergent residue is all that is. And then so what with our with our Laundry Pure, you won't have any of that. And so, and there again, I always tell people, when you start washing your clothes, after about the third or fourth washing, all of a sudden your towels are more fluffier. They're more absorbent. They're softer because they don't have the chemicals weighing the towels down. Here's the thing is also what we do is lifts the dirt and grime away. It freshens, it sanitizes, and detergents on colors, for instance. Trevor, if you buy a nice blue shirt and maybe a year and a half later, it's like light blue instead of the original blue. Okay. Mm-hmm. And detergents play havoc, on your clothing. And so with Laundry Pure, you don't have discoloration. Your whites are whiter. Your towels are fluffier. It's an amazing product. And we know within 9 seconds after you put your chemically laden clothes on your body, within 9 seconds, it's in your bloodstream. It's just more chemicals within our poor bodies have to fight against, Trevor.
I'm an athlete, and I produce, smelly armpits, and I know my wife uses all kinds of things to try and clean things out. But you're saying that this, with no detergents, no nothing, it clears everything out?
Absolutely, Trevor. And that's the thing is, we've had actually baseball teams. Their white pants, they've had green grass stains. And it cleans it out, no problem at all. There again, it eliminates the need for laundry detergent. It brightens clothes sheets. And let's say you have a white shirt or a white tablecloth and a glass of wine gets spilt on it. No problem. Put it in the washer. It really takes the stains away. Now, there are situations where if it's a really bad stain, Yeah, if you do have like a little oxy, something to lift the stain away, just use common sense, with it. It's an amazing product that just really cleans, sanitizes. And there again, this is, part of NASA's technology as well. But the neat thing about this is it totally monitors its operation with one of these little like blue LED indicator lights. So it connects to really any existing, washing machine, and there's no maintenance to it, and it's designed and assembled right here in the United States.
Is this a similar technology to the other water system where it ionizes and does similar?
Ours, it's a similar, yes, but it makes more scrubbers and like little hydrogen peroxide within the system.
Is it working on pH or is it hydrogen?
More little hydrogen scrubbers.
I know that you mentioned using like acidic water for more of the cleaning type stuff,
Yeah.
but I would imagine if you had acidic water on your clothes, it may deteriorate and break down.
I don't have the answer to that, to be honest with you. The acid water, the thing is like if you can also use the acid water as a stain remover, Trevor. And
Okay.
so you just spray it on and put it into the wash machine. It's going to help with that as well.
And I know like hydrogen peroxide, when I was a kid, I put hydrogen peroxide in my hair and it turned it like orange. And so
Yes.
is that going to have any issue with the coloration of
No.
your clothing?
Pretty much what we're doing is we have the technology, the cleaning action, if you will, of the water is hydrogen and oxygen based molecules that lift the dirt and grime away. It's not like a strong hydrogen peroxide. It's just hydrogen and oxygen based molecules that pretty much just lift, kill anything that's growing, but lift the dirt and grime away as well.
Okay, and you had one other product here, which kind of goes under the air quality stuff, but it was your pet refresh. Can you
Oh,
talk a little bit
yeah.
about that? Because I know all of us, that have pets and animals that creates a lot of dander and
Right.
toxins that we're ingesting.
Yes. It's funny, Trevor, because when I personally walk into a home maybe that has cats, and with cats, love cats, love animals, okay? But my eyes literally will swell up, water, that kind of thing. And what it is, and this is why our purifiers work so well, whether it be the little pet refresh, and that's made where you can put next to a kitty litter box or a doggy bed because they get odorous, okay? They just
Right.
do, simple as that. But it'll help from those odors going throughout the rest of the home and within the airflow. But here's what happens with especially with cats. When cats go to the bathroom or when they urinate, their urine immediately starts to crystallize. And it's not necessarily that I'm allergic to the cats. I'm allergic to the crystallized urine that's floating around in the air.
Hmm.
And that's where even our systems, I mean, if you have pets, any kind of pets, number one, you plug this in, it's within, 60 to 90 minutes, you're like, wow, this is amazing. Number two is that animal will want to be in that area of that purifier because they can feel the difference and just they breathe better, just no different than us. And so, and it keeps the dander down. A lot of that particle you see in the air gets it out of the breathing area, not only for us, but for our pets as well. So yeah, the pet refresh it's really a unique little system. But what we do is we just plug it next to the kitty litter box, next to the doggy bed. It's just very clean atmosphere, not only for your animal, but for us as well.
Awesome, awesome. So we learned a lot today. How to protect ourselves from the air toxins, the water toxins, how to clean our clothes without using all of the chemicals. I mean, I think there's a lot of benefit that people can experience from this today. But like I said, in becoming superhuman, it's not just doing one thing. So many of us are becoming more conscious of the toxins that we're exposed to, and perhaps the food, but if you miss out on where the other exposures are, whether that be the air or the water, I think that even though you do everything you think is right, you can still miss out and you can still come short of what your expectations are, which a lot of people, what I find, people are like, I'm doing everything, I'm eating the right food, I'm exercising, but I'm still unable to achieve what I want. Well, these are the small things that people are missing on a daily basis that they're just not paying attention to, and allows us to fall short and not succeed. And I think that this is really important. So, thank you so much for sharing all this information today. Do you have any last words that you want to share?
We've been changing lives for over 34 years. The company's been around for a long time, but here at our office, we've been helping people for over 34 years health-wise. And it's a mission of ours. And it's what I absolutely love about these products, Trevor, is they truly, truly help people live healthier lives. It's proven. We're not just a Me Too product. We're very unique. And that's really how our company works, is we want the best of the best for our clients. And we hope you try our products. I mean, the whole home protection package, that's a great package. You save a lot of money. The air, the water, the laundry pure, it's our #1 selling package. And people are amazed of the immediate difference in the air quality, and then the water hydrating their cells, their mental clarity, and, obviously, not having to drag along a big old jug of detergent, from the store, if you will.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting to me, is to get rid of some of these chemicals. I've been trying to eliminate the chemicals for years now, and it's nice to just have alternatives and to not have to succumb to all the chemicals that they make us use on ourselves. So
thank you so much, Trevor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you speaking today. And so your website is thesafeairtoday.com, and I'm going to work to connect with you to ensure that we can offer these products, through our website, just make it a little bit easier for people to live a healthier life. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you again. And, Trevor, we have so many folks just like yourselves that are just helping so many people. So congratulations to you, and thank you for being who you guys are as well.
Gandhi said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world. You must choose to become superhuman." Thank you for listening to this episode of the Becoming Superhuman podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Schmidt. Be sure to follow our social media channels. We'll see you next time.